I wanted to offer some quick tips for running one-on-one games and I'll link to these down in the show notes because I love this style of play so much. I wanted to talk about some tips for running one-on-one games. Again, I think running one-on-one games is a fantastic way to play RPGs, fantastic way to play D&D, and there's a few things you can do that I think make running one-on-one games really good. And again, advantages. It's easier to find a group. Scheduling is easier. It's much faster to play. You can focus the game on the main character. It's very flexible, and you can tailor the whole game around the player. So my number one tip is to run with a sidekick. And the idea here is that there are two characters. The player is really role-playing one of those characters, and they have a sidekick. And the sidekick is a player that is controlled by the player mechanically, but role-played by the game master. And that way you have an NPC who's always there, who's able to kind of banter back and forth with the main player character. So the player still has one character they control, and they have a sidekick. Now, the sidekick will do what the player tells them to do. This is your Batman and Robin and your Sherlock Holmes and Watson style, right? Works really, really well. Sidekicks are great. It gives the characters more resiliency because there are two of them rather than one. It's a lot less likely they're going to get wiped out. So I really like sidekicks. A sidekick can basically just be a simple character that the player can still level them up. The players can still decide what they do. Generally speaking, you would say that you want the sidekick to be a less complex character than the main character. So it works really well. And your sidekick can shore up the things that your main character cannot do. You're Fafhrd in the Grey Mouser style, right? You've got a rogue and a fighter. You've got your cleric and your paladin. You've got your wizard and your barbarian. You can kind of choose two classes that really complement one another, and then have the sidekick be the simpler of those two, who's role played by the game master. That is probably my big tip. Another one is this idea, which I call the Sherlock Holmes and Watson style of one-on-one play. It's a very simple model for running one-on-one games. And the idea is that the character is playing a Sherlock Holmes-like character, basically a private investigator, a mercenary, a sword for hire, a sage for hire, something like that. And the Watson character, role played by the game master, goes and finds new jobs. And so you can basically break it up into three phases of play. In phase one, you prepare three job descriptions. In this case, your Watson-like character says, "Hey, boss, we have 3 new jobs to pick up. There are 3 new things, 3 new clients that have things they want us to do." Right? And the character says, okay. And the player gets to decide which one of those quests they want to go on. Which job do they want to go on? Which NPC do they want to talk to? Who they want to hire? They choose the job, right? And that's the phase. And you could do that while taking a walk. You can do that over the phone. There's no mechanics, right? You just describe them, the character. You could do it virtually. You could do it over email, right? You could still role play back and forth. But you can do this phase in any style of play that you want. Then 2, now the player has decided which job to take. You now have this next phase, which is filling out the job description and meeting with the patron. And this is, again, a Sherlock Holmes style where you meet with the client, you're talking to the client, you're getting the details of the job, you're understanding the full scope of what's going on. You meet with the patron. This, again, could be handled. This is a role-play focused thing, so it probably works better in person or synchronously rather than like through email or anything like that. You could do it in email, but it works better if you're doing it either face-to-face or online or in a chat or, again, on the phone or something like that. But even text chat. You could do it in Discord over a text chat if you wanted to. And basically the GM, the player is asking, the character is asking questions to this NPC, the NPC is answering the questions and filling out all the details. 15 to 30 minutes of gameplay for that one, right? Then you have the job. Then step 3 is actually running the scenario. And this would play out much more like a typical D&D scenario where the character goes and does the thing. The sidekick goes with them. You can use maps, you have adventures, you have quests and everything like that, and you go on them and you run the adventure. I have played a number of games like this. My wife and I, during COVID, when it was harder for us to get groups together, played a one-on-one game like this, and it was delightful. We had so much fun. It works really well. It gives a lot of agency to the character. It gives lots of agency to the player, and is a nice, fun model that kind of fits that 3-2-1 quest model that I talked about previously, where you're offering up 3 quests to the player, they pick one, then you offer 2, then they pick one of those, and you throw the third one out. And it gives a lot of agency to the player to decide what kind of adventures they want to go on. It works really well. It's a good style. So that is one-on-one play. So I'm both very happy to see that Dragon Delve Solo is going to have this, and I also hope that you enjoy these tips on how to play a one-on-one game, and I really hope you'll try it out. make it a New Year's. I mean, we're like halfway through the year, so it's too late. But make a New Year's resolution to try some one-on-one RPGs or one-on-one games. Just try it out. Pick a friend. If you're having trouble finding a game, pick a friend and play a game.